I have 10 o'clock. I will call the Harrison County Commission meeting for Wednesday, September 11th, 2024 to order. If you would rise and join us in the invocation of the pledge, please.
Before we have our prayer today, 23 years ago, we all know, I think everyone in this room, or maybe not, remember that, this country was attacked viciously. And 9/11 is a day that we will always remember, and also take time to pause with a moment of silence in remembrance for those who lost their lives 23 years ago today. Heavenly Father, we open up our hearts to you. We still today pray for the families that were affected by the attack that happened, as I said, 23 years ago. No one wants to lose a loved one, and the circumstances around that, Lord, we know were pure evil. But we know that you, Lord, are the light that can never be overcome by the darkness. And we know that we put our faith in you, as you told Peter to cast his net out in the deep, not in the shallow, Lord, but in the deep where he couldn't see, where he had to use his faith to know you were in control, not him, but you, Lord. We also give you that faith that know that you are in control of our hearts, our minds. And we thank you for being adopted children. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there anyone signed up to speak publicly?
There is.
Thank you. Kenneth Drum.
Good morning. I know this is not the way you want to start your meeting off, but I've got a lot of complaints. This past Thursday, I got raided by animal control. I was told I was not a legal rescue, even though I had a state business license. I was told I was adopting out sick kittens, which I will confess, one was sick, but it wasn't when it went out. Everyone is vet checked that comes in my house. I have a contract with Clarksburg Veterinary Hospital. Every cat, every kitten comes into my house is checked. They decided they were going to take part of my rescue animals, and I could not stop them. Therefore, they loaded them up. They hauled them back to animal control. I filed a complaint, called them, told them I wanted my cats back. They told me tough damn luck. And that was a quote. This girl was wearing a badge that said director. She was the rudest, nastiest thing, told me she would be back in a week, and she expected my rescue to be totally dismantled. I have quite a few $1,000s invested in these kittens. Then as she was getting ready to leave, she said, well, we're leaving now. You can call your county commission friends, tell them if you want. They don't make our rules. We make our own rules here. I said, well, I will be sure to let them know that. And I'm furious. I'm mad. I mean, they took my personal property. They took a cat of mine that had just come back a week and a half earlier from having a C-section and was still nursing babies. They left the babies at my house, but took the mother cat. She was my personal cat. There's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for this animal control being out of control. And then the girl tells me on the way out, said, you'll never adopt another kitten out of here. We don't like you, and that's why you can't pull kittens from here. I said, that's fine. I'll go talk to the Humane Society. And she said, go ahead. We have a problem with them too right now. So I'm done. I don't know what else to do. Every cat that they took Thursday was brought to me from the city of Clarksburg to save them. The city actually took up some donations to help feed some of these younger kittens. And I'm furious. There was a code enforcement officer with them. And he told them standing there, he said, this is the biggest BS call I've ever been on. And he turned and walked out the door. Y'all don't know what it's like at 9:30 in the morning to get woke up to a police officer, 2 animal control officers and a city code officer standing at your front door wanting to come in your house. And you got no clue what it's for. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. I'm begging the county commission to step in. Help me with this, please. I want my cat back, number one. And I want a resolve to this. And I'm asking y'all to please help me. Thank you.
Rocky? Romano?
Yeah, I'm here just to,
Sorry, but I'll make sure everybody can hear you.
What I'm here for this morning, thank you all for letting me speak a minute. The October 1st deadline for paying personal property taxes. People need to know if they don't at least pay the first half by October 1st, they will not qualify for a credit. We need to get that out and let people know that. You can pay the first, it was kind of confusing. West Virginia News, Larry Pack's report was kind of confusing to some people. So we're put together, if you see, I left a copy of what WAVCO put together. So if you pay by October 1st, the first half, you can pay the second half in November or December. By December 31st, then you will qualify for the full year on your 2024 taxes, which we do in January 25. And if you paid the second half of 23 timely before October 1st, you qualify for that. So all three parts can go when you do your 2025 taxes. Or the 2024 taxes in 25. Now, if you pay the first half before October 1st and the second half is not paid until after January 1st, but before April 1st, then you can qualify to get that second half credited when you file your 25 taxes in January of 26. So we're just trying to get the word out that people really, I need your all's help, your newspaper's help, to let people know if you haven't paid yet, if you don't pay the first half by October 1st, you will not qualify for a credit. So if you can see what we've got, we put together, hopefully we can get something out there with the paper and other ways. But that's where we are. And it's kind of, it's still very confusing to people. And they, we still have people coming in saying they don't have to pay taxes, but they do. And also in that bill is for disabled veterans, and 90 to 100% disabled veteran, they can qualify to get their real estate back on their primary residence. That again, they have to pay the first half by October 1st. So that's all I wanted to report today. Thank you.
Maybe we put this on our website.
Put it on the website and Facebook.
Is there anyone on Zoom that wishes to speak publicly? Anyone on Zoom wish to speak publicly? Okay. At 10:05, we have a proclamation for Hunger Action Month. Is there someone? Is there anyone here to present the proclamation? Guess not. And I guess we will see that they get it. Figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Someone was supposed to be here today to accept it. We even had communication with her this morning, so I'm not quite sure why no one's here, but we'll make sure she gets it.
Okay, then we'll move to number 2, consent agenda. What's a pleasure?
Motion approved, please.
Motion to approve consent agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Payroll changes A through L.
Motion approved A through L, please.
Motion to approve payroll change notices A through L. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Minutes and or amended minutes. We have minutes from August 21st of 2024.
Motion approved minutes. A,
Motion to approve.
adopt in the record, sorry.
Motion to approve 4A and adopt into record. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Okay, 1010 special funding request from Harrison County Livestock Association requesting $3,000 to purchase tents to house the livestock for their livestock show and sale at Summit Park on September 19th through the 21st. And I know Fred was not going to be able to be here.
Correct. He was unable to make it.
It's okay. Motion to approve $3,000 for Livestock Association.
Motion to approve the $3,000 for the Livestock Association. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 5, requisitions, purchase orders, invoices. We have A and B.
Should approve A and B, please.
Motion to approve 5A and B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Motion carried. Number 6, exoneration corrective tickets. I believe that's all we have. A and B under 6, correct?
That is correct.
What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve A and B, please.
Motion to approve 6A and B. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. Number 7, consideration of approval of a project fund requisition for the payment of costs associated with the project to be financed from proceeds of the Series 2019 bonds issued for the Charles Point Economic Opportunity Development District Series 2021 A and B, Development District Number 3, White Oaks Number 2, and Series 2008A, Charles Point Project Number 2, Northland Bay Improvements A through C.
Motion to approve A through C, Madam President.
Motion to approve number 7, A, B, and C. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 8, review, discuss, consider investigating annexation of Retino Farm into the city of Bridgeport, West Virginia for future development purposes and utility expansion in Harrison County.
Madam President, I make the motion to allow Bridgeport to entertain the offer to annex the property upon putting in the agreement to put in the utilities, please.
Okay, motion to allow
If you want-
Bridgeport to investigate putting in utilities on the Retino
And annex,
and annex into Bridgeport
and give them a timeline.
with the timeline.
Yeah, so let's open it up for discussion. And then when we say utilities, all I'm thinking about is water and sewer.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there any discussion?
I'd love to know why we're doing it and what the purpose of it is.
One of the council members asked me if we would mind annexing it into the city of Bridgeport, and I said I would throw it in front of the commission and see what you all thought. I see no reason why it would affect us in any way if we did. We don't collect any tax off of it anyway, owning it, and the city of Bridgeport can help us with the utilities that they already have out there somewhere, and maybe make the property even more valuable for commercial use.
City came to us over a year ago and asked us to be involved in the utilities. We said, no, what's changed?
You don't want to do it? Commissioner, you don't
I'm
want to?
I'm just asking a question. I don't know anything about what you're discussing. This is the first I've heard that they want utilities, or we're gonna ask for utilities. They asked us to participate with the airport with utilities. The airport in the city of Bridgeport was told no by this commission, that they did not want to participate. So both parties went out and got their own grants and laid out the sewage, and all the land on the north side of 279 wasn't included. So are we saying we're stepping up and going to financially be involved, or we just, I'm just trying to understand why we're worrying about annexing property, and how that's makes the property any different than what's being used. I just would like to know, just any councilman can pop up and make this request, and we just do it. So is this going to be for all property around the county?
No, Commissioner. Bottom line is, the city asked me about it. I I said I would put it in front of the three of us. And right now you have the choice to let your yeses be yeses and your nos be nos. I really don't know what you're talking about right now.
Okay, so do you have a plan?
Yes, I just told you the plan.
What's the plan?
We're gonna offer the city of Bridgeport the opportunity to annex the property with a timeline and on the water and sewer in. And if they wanna do it, they can. If they don't, they don't.
What-
They have to decide and make a decision if we allow them to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't.
Wait a minute, they have to make a decision back to us to put the water and sewer in?
It's up to
Is that
them.
what you're saying?
It's up to them. They can do whatever they want. Just like right now, I said again, you can say no. You can say
No.
yes.
So that was easy.
You wanna help them, help them. If you don't, don't.
If you knew what we were doing and could explain it, that would be fine, but I haven't heard an explanation.
I just
Well,
hate-
what I understand, I mean, I don't know if this is what I'm hearing. But is Bridgeport willing to put the
We have to-
utilities in?
it'll be up to
But that's
them.
not what was discussed. I mean, that's not what, they're just asking to be in it.
Is there a formal request from the city?
No,
So we're voting on something based upon somebody that had a conversation with you, but the city of Bridgeport has not had a formal request to present to us.
Commissioner,
And do they want it? I guess that's the question.
I'm sorry you don't understand. Right now, all you have to do is say yes or no. Actually, I'm not sorry, because you do understand. Yes or no.
I have no idea.
Then call the question and vote.
Call the question.
It's okay.
Don't know what
He
it
wants-
is, but
When he
call
wants
it.
it voted on.
Excuse me?
Can't hear you. Can't hear me? Okay. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Get a little closer.
No, I don't want
So-
you closer to me.
Well,
Please
if
go over
you're
there.
gonna say that,
Please, good. Get.
get.
Get a little upset. It's ridiculous. This is the circus. I swear it is, and I'm stuck in the middle. Sorry.
Tell the
but it
clown
is.
down at
Okay,
the
all in
end
favor,
to tell
signify
us
by
what's
saying
going on.
aye. Opposed?
No.
No. I would like to see the cities. I'm gonna agree with David. I think the city needs to send us a request for this. Okay. Number 9, review, discuss, consider appointing Mike Queen to fill the vacant seat on the Harrison County Economic Development Corporation Board.
Motion of Mike Claim to fill the vacancy on the.
Motion,
County Economic Board.
motion to appoint Mike Queen to the vacant seat on the Harrison County Economic Development Corporation Board.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint Patsy Treecost.
Motion's been made to appoint Patsy Treecost to the Harrison County Development Corporation. Any discussion? Hearing none,
Which
all
one
in
are we voting on right
we have to vote on yours first. I'm sorry.
now?
Motion to appoint Mike Queen to the vacant seat. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
No,
Okay. Motion to appoint Patsy Treecost to the Harrison County Development Corporation Board. All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Those opposed? No. Number 10, review, discuss, consider courthouse annex demolition and first floor annex and jail renovation, also including 2 new courthouse elevator installation to be funded by OPEB funds, which will be reimbursed over a 10-year period. What's the pleasure?
Motion to use the money that in the OPEB fee to allow the renovation for the courthouse to get 2 new elevators, as well as take the old annex down to the first floor, remodel the basement and establish the jail as a place to contain prisoners from this point.
Okay. Motion to demolish the annex to the first floor.
To some, I don't know if I want to say demolish as much as I want to. What would the proper word be? Because we're not going to demolish it. We still have to leave the first floor and we still have to leave the jail. So would it be disassembled? Cut the top off?
Renovate.
Because we have to have the first floor. And it needs remodel, and the jail definitely needs remodel. Because we had a jail, I believe we could save a ton of money. So I guess it would be to remodel. the courthouse with 2 new elevators and to remodel the old annex by taking off the top and leaving the first floor and remodeling it and remodeling the basement.
Okay, I'm not gonna try to repeat that. because
I don't know if I
really
could.
messed it up. You okay with, everybody
don't know
got
if I
that,
could.
John? Okay, is there any discussion on the motion?
Where's the funds coming from?
OPEB money.
What's that for? Why do we have that money?
That's a backup plan for our retirement if we would need it.
And that's the money we're gonna use. And how are we gonna pay it back?
Well, we can pay it back to the general fund, but also if we take less prisoners to Dodgers County, once the elevator, the jail is reestablished, we won't be traveling back as far. And right now, that's a $2 million a year budget. We could even just cut that in half, working with the magistrate and the circuit clerk, the circuit judges, then we could pay that back in 10 years. No, we can pay it back in 5 years.
So you have a financial plan for us to look at? Or how are we going to reestablish a jail?
We just meet the standards.
And
There
what
we
are
have to-
if do you have a plan laid out for that?
We'd have to get that.
So you don't really know how you're gonna repay the OPED fund back,
Well, I'm hoping to cut down on travel to Dodgers.
hoping. But you don't know that we'll be able to do that.
Yeah, then we can do that.
How?
The mattress just explained it to me, that we're sending people down there to spots that we don't need to, if we could do 1,000 a year.
So the magistrates have a financial plan for us to look at.
No, they don't.
So we're gonna go and spend this money to tear the jail down and reestablish a jail. Are these prisoners gonna be held overnight?
That's up to the commission and, we can work with the security team that we have to cover.
Do we know what the issues are with holding prisoners overnight in more than one day?
No, but it's our choice as a county commission to decide if we transfer them or keep them in-house.
But do we know what that cost is?
No, but we know what the cost is to transport them to Dodgers.
So this is another one of your plans that we're gonna build a jail. But
No,
you
we're
have
not gonna
no-
build a jail, we're gonna remodel what we already have existing.
Where you're gonna remodel the top floor, cause that's where the jail cells are. You're gonna have to put new cells down on the first floor, right?
Well, we could keep it up on the first floor if you want to, Commissioner.
On the first floor. The
See,
jails are on the top floor.
See, it's our decision.
I thought we were tearing the building down.
No, we're just gonna tear we're gonna tear it down to the first floor. That was the motion.
Okay, but there's no cells on that floor.
We can do anything we want. We have the money to do it, and we have to tear down the building, right?
I don't know. You've told this commission and people in the public that there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay, I'm
building.
ready to call this the question.
Well, that's fine, but we're having a discussion about spending millions and millions of dollars and committing this county to becoming a jail again. I just would like to know where the plan is. And I don't know why we're tying the two elevators into tearing the jail down. That should be two separate issues.
Okay, separate them. I'm good with that.
I mean, we've been talking about building elevators for over 2 years. We said we were gonna go out and hire somebody to come and tell us what it was gonna cost. Which we've never done. We have no designs.
Okay.
And we've never gone out to see if there's any grants. But you're gonna spend money we set aside for retirement for all the employees. And you can't tell me how you're gonna pay it back other than hopefully we have savings. And this money that you wanna spend is not gonna make one job. It's not gonna pay any taxes. So I'm just trying to understand your financial plan here, Patsy, on how this all works for the betterment of the county. I would think that somebody with your background would have a financial plan for us to look at to understand the return on investment.
Should give us a chance to do that, David, by voting yes.
I would rather vote after I've seen it,
Well, you've
because
been-
I don't know that you'll ever do it.
You've been working 2 years on the elevators, so why don't we
I
talk
have not
monthly and
worked
maybe we'll
on
get
the
them done?
elevators for 2 years, Patsy. I have not had charge of it.
Yeah.
Don't even try to put that game on me. That's
Well, let me take it back off you then. We have been trying for 2 years to get the elevators fixed and we poured money into it and it hasn't helped. Let's just go ahead and replace them and put more money into it. Let's go ahead and tear down the annex that has cracks in it. And let's see if we can do something special over there and save money by housing our prisoners over there, working with our judges.
Hope, maybe. No guarantees. You're just gonna go spend $3 or $4 million or $2 million with no plan,
Maybe
with any way to pay the money back.
if we prove this, we can get all that.
How long did it take to build that fund up?
I believe it was several years. I don't know the answer for sure.
And that fund is for
A backup for retirement.
backup for retirement. So do we have any other money other than taking the employees backup retirement money?
We have financial stabilization.
How much is in it
Believe right now there's over 4 million in there,
and how much is in the OPEB?
over 5 million.
Commissioner, let me ask you this. And why is it that me wanting to take the money out of there is such a bad thing, but yet that seal's already been broken? Because $751,000 was already taken out of it, and this building here went over budget. So how come?
Well,
it's bad?
Patsy,
Why would
if
it
you,
bad?
whenever you
Why
wanna
would-
have the discussion on why this building went over budget, you let me know.
There's no discussion about
There's a discussion on it.
but let's just live in reality. It did.
Let's live in reality why we went over budget, but that's for another day. We're talking about the
doesn't
money you
matter
wanna
that it-
spend today.
It doesn't matter that it did, Commissioner. What matters is the
Did
fact.
you take the money out of opioid, OPED to pay the overrun?
The money that was taken out of OPEB was to pay the payment for the GSA building when we did not have enough in general county.
So we've already robbed it once, so I guess we'll just keep robbing.
It's
But
like,
we
Commissioner,
don't wanna talk about why the building ran over, they do.
Well, it doesn't matter why the building ran over. The bottom line is the building is ours
The
now.
reason it ran
We
over,
can't complain.
right here, the three of us is the reason why it ran over.
No,
Why don't you admit to it?
No, only one of us voted for this building, sir.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But who voted for all the extra funds to be spent?
Not I.
Well, we'll go down through those and look, and I think you might be surprised.
I think, well, nobody in the world thinks I was for this building, but it's here now, so there's no.
I know
debate
you
about it.
don't park here, you don't participate here, so that's okay.
What I do is really none of your business, other than voting yes or no with me on these agenda items, sir.
So these are your agenda items?
Absolutely.
Okay. But you have no information.
No, but I'm willing to get the ball started.
Okay.
Are we ready to vote now?
The only question I had, Madam President, and the Commissioner mentioned it, would you like to separate the two items, the elevators and the building? So we can do that.
No. Are we ready to vote? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed?
No,
No. Number 11, review, discuss, consider US EDA Department of Commerce Amendment Number 1 to grant 0179151127. Change in recipient from Harrison County Commission to Harrison County Economic Development Corporation. Amendment effective August 30th, 2024, requesting approval and signature of president.
Madam President, this is the change that we've been working on for several months with the Development Corporation, to switch this grant out from the commission's name to the Economic Development Corporation. And we have that letter approving it. We just need signatures.
What's the pleasure on number 11?
Motion approved and affix the president's signature.
Motion to approve and affix the president's signature. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Number 12, review, discuss, consider update from Steptoe and Johnson about letter to Brian Crumbaker.
I reached out to Tommy Amen for an update on that. Mr. Crumbaker asked Genesis for information on their construction loan. Genesis sent them what they requested. They're still working on coming to an agreement. So there has been no answer to the letter that we have sent at this time.
That letter was sent in July 2024,
That is correct.
and the response was for July 17th, 2024.
That is correct. And then I believe it was extended a week.
If you could show me that in the minutes when you get a chance, I'd appreciate it. So it was extended till the 24th of July.
I believe roughly. I'll have to go back through my email.
And so do we know that first termination of transaction between Mon Health and Charles Point?
Madam
Wait.
President,
Does that mean we're moving on to 13?
That's all part of the letter.
So do we want to take 12 and 13 together? Is that what you're,
I'm just talking about the letter.
Madam President,
okay?
what does the county commission have to do with a private hospital on a private property? We have two attorneys and we have attorneys in the room right now. Do we have anything to do with a private hospital and a private property owner working together to develop something in our county?
So back to the Crumbaker letter, this was really an olive branch to try to facilitate discussion between the parties, and the county was really just acting in its, what I'll call oversight capacity, as previously discussed by Mr. Aiden. To my knowledge as well, we haven't received a material response from Crumbaker. But again, it was an olive branch that we put out there to try to facilitate development.
Do we have any plans, Mr. Attorney?
Well, we, in the capacity as the issuer, we have a limited function and we're part of the whole transaction to the extent we've locked in revenues as part of the TIF process. I say revenues, a tax base. So yes, we do in that capacity have a role. But our role was not active in the negotiation between the trustee and the developer. It
Right.
has never been active in that role,
And
other than we sent that letter to try to once again facilitate a relationship, just like the county commission sat through a number of meetings in the past several years between the trustee and the developer.
And the county, though, for all intents and purposes, whether it works out between the property owner and the bondholders, or the more general private party and the private party Genesis, it has no relevance on the taxpayers of Harrison County, right? We're not on the hook for anything.
On the hook, no, but the development and the prospect of how it moves forward does have an impact on the county from a, what I would call strategic position to protect the county's interests, and that's what Mr. Raymond typically does. That's why he sat in all the meetings and facilitated some of the meetings. But we don't,
But our citizens are no liability for this, right? If Twin Oaks Pizza goes out of business, we're not liable, we're no, I mean.
in terms of liability,
How many shirts Dick sold for the Mountaineer Shirts game? That is no business of ours.
what we did was lock in a base tax value, which is designed to allow the increment to fund the project, and that's really our limited role. in the
So
County,
again, I'm gonna ask you, are these citizens here in Harrison County, taxpayer wise, on the hook for anything?
well, it's kind of a loaded question because we're in the project, so if something went south with the project, we're gonna be involved in the mix.
I think the simple answer, Trey, is that the citizens with their tax dollars that we abated to allow for the payment of the bonds. The citizens of Harrison County's tax dollars, instead of coming to the county, go to pay the developer's bonds.
It's how the increment works, the tax.
So,
increment funding.
yes.
Yes,
The citizens of Harrison County pay every month on these bonds. Now, if these bonds are not paid, yes, we are not responsible to make up the
Right,
that's
difference.
correct.
But your citizens that you represent, Patsy, every day that their taxes are collected, that money goes to pay on these bonds. If these bonds aren't paid in full, nope, the county does not have to make up the difference, and I agree. But this letter was approved and signed by the president of the commission asking them to escrow $1 million in a escrow account, which makes us involved, and you were fine with that.
Mhm.
And in that letter, we said to avoid termination of a transaction with Mon Health, we need a response by July 17th. So
Now, let me ask you this.
I'm just saying, Patsy, it's in the letter. We said this to Mr. Crumbaker.
I'm gonna ask you this, Mr. Commissioner. What are you gonna do about it?
If Mr. Crumbaker isn't going to do anything, then the county needs to reevaluate what we're gonna do with the bonds.
What are you gonna do about it? If Mr. Crumbaker doesn't do the bonds, if Mon General's not built, what are you gonna do about it? As Commissioner, I mean, who am I to do anything about that?
Then why'd you vote to pass this?
All we did
I asked the
was, as
question.
he said, threw him a crumb saying, hey, we'd love to see a hospital built in our. community."
Okay, can I put a stop to this? We've got the update. Laura gave us an update on the agenda item.
No, I'd really like to know what can we do.
Well, I just
Nothing.
would like to move on
Okay,
because we could be here for days.
right.
You guys want to?
Okay.
Do it, we'll do it later. Put it back on the agenda.
Okay.
Okay, did we take care of 13?
Mhm.
No, ma'am. Is there somebody here from Mon General to give us an update on whether or not they're still building?
I
Because
believe you got
an update from Mon General.
No, I got an update. When I talked to Tommy Amen, there's nothing that has changed from Mon General. I didn't know that you wanted someone from Mon General. I can
Please have them for the next meeting.
try to arrange that.
Madam Administrator, that's something they would like to come to the next meeting. We cannot direct them to do anything.
That's a matter of opinion, Patsy.
No, it's a matter of me knowing who I am and what my role is as commissioner, not overstepping the line, because I know my shit does things.
Okay, number 14, review, discuss, consider type of bridge to use for Limestone Creek and Simpson Creek. Chad, are you here?
Yeah, Chad Miller with the Thrasher Group. I've given all of you 11 by 17 and a sheet of paper here. Donnie Williams and I have been working on this project and we've been putting together what we feel is a good looking bridge that would serve the community very well going forward in the future. I've given you a picture of it. It's weathering steel. It's a truss type of structure. It does have a wooden floor in it of pressure treated lumber. The vertical pickets do go up to about 4 feet. 54 inches high. And they're spaced about 4 inches, which keeps, young children from crawling through the truss area. There is a pedestrian handrail on it. It is 10 feet wide, which we feel is a appropriate width for bicyclists and pedestrians as well. So we would like for the commission to either say, yeah, you're on the right track, Chad, or no, we don't like the look of that. Please look at something else. We would like for you to agree that, the 10-foot width is the appropriate width for the rail trail. So that we can properly go forward with the keys to completing this project.
And these bridges will be located where?
For now, on the West Fork and on Simpson Creek. Limestone Creek, we are working, and I'll talk about that in a second, David. We're looking at eliminating Limestone Creek with a different option. And we're gonna go out and look at that this afternoon and see if we can just eliminate that.
So
bridge
what's the
completely.
distance spanned with this bridge?
We're still working on the span widths. We're working on that hydraulically to make sure that we can get the right passage of the flood event under the bridge. So the span widths are changing and they're fluid at this point.
So I guess my question, Chad, is one, I see that it's a standard, I'll call bridge, but and you're wanting to use steels or anything. Have you looked at fiberglass? Have you looked at any other design for this distance?
Yes, that's a good question. We have looked at fiber reinforced structures, plastic fiber reinforced. We do not feel like that is a good alternative with the span lengths we're looking at. You know, it's over 100-foot span length for the main part of the river. So, yes, we have looked at many different options. And we feel that this is the most economical alternative.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, go ahead, David, I'm sorry.
So on the West Fork, it's abutment to abutment that's 100, or is it this bridge gonna extend past the abutments, and how are we gonna get from the bridge down? Is this,
Yeah. So there will be piers as well as abutments. So it's not all just one
So
long
you-
span.
so you're gonna do a pier out in the stream?
No. we're
Okay.
not. And that's why we're still dealing with a span arrangement. But one thing we're not gonna do is we're gonna try to eliminate any piers in the stream. We want to keep the piers out of the stream to prevent blockages and to prevent flooding upstream.
So what would be the load capacity of this type of structure? What we're looking at here versus say an arch?
So the load capacity, there is an HS loading associated with this, and I don't remember what it is off the top of my head.
It's 90 pounds per square foot pedestrian, which is standard. And we also have an H5 vehicle, which is standard, which is a 10,000 pound, like emergency vehicle.
That's what I'm worried about, is whether or not this, what I'll call a really big live load going potentially across this bridge in this. I know I see this form done on the highways a lot, say 30, 40 of temporary, maybe 50-foot spans, 100 foots. That's a long span.
Yeah, we're gonna maximize the span.
And we
we're
want to
gonna
be
try
able to, I think, but that's my next question is, and it'll be a real easy answer is, once you get to the end of the bridge, will it be multiple ramps down, or, because if we're never going to be able to put a vehicle across it, then that's the easy part. Now, the one down at Simpson, I think you'll be able to do a straight shot across, correct?
Yes,
And actually, potentially that could be used for emergency purposes and capacity could go up.
it's potentially that could happen. Now, on the West Fork, there won't be any ramps down. The way the elevations are coming across there, will tie directly into that road pretty easily. So there's not gonna be any kind of ramps. The profile wise works really well on I guess that would be the eastern side of the West Fork.
Okay, because that's how I look at it, is that somebody from our maintenance department's gonna go, there's the quickest way to get a tractor, a lawnmower. We consider the three of us say it'll never happen, but somebody will want to test it.
Yeah.
Take the shortcut.
And obviously, the heavier, the larger pieces of equipment, the more expensive the bridge gets.
And you're talking 10,000-pound vehicle capacity when you
Yes.
say that for the bridges.
Mhm. And I will bring back at a future time the complete alignment, how they're gonna, and the spans, how it's gonna really look, but in all those details, Commissioner,
You're just
all
looking for a
I'm really
design,
trying to
right?
do is this what you're looking for? Is this how you want it to look? So that we can take this and put it into our modeling and make sure engineering wise, we don't have any issues with the streams.
But you said something about rerouting. You're not gonna do the bridge where we just drilled and.
So if you look at the second page, the 11x17 color sheet, we're working with the traffic engineers right now to determine the best way to cross Route 19. And they've come up with a different option that you see here in red. And basically what this would do would be eliminate the limestone bridge, and it would move the crossing further away from the signal from the exit ramp of Route 50 down to Route 19.
So it was.
So that's up at the intersection of Limestone and 19. Is that?
Yes,
Who owns that property?
the state of West Virginia.
On both sides.
It's on the DOH right away.
And we can still use the $1.4 million, the grant that we have for that.
Yes,
So the only thing we did then is bought property that we're not gonna use.
no, that's not accurate.
I'm sorry.
The landing on the opposite side of the West Fork is a property that you purchased, and that
that's all
property
we
will
bought.
always be used for the crossing.
So,
I'm so confused right now, Chad. I'm sorry.
so Tad, you're gonna try to use the existing bridge that crosses 19 and then get across so that you don't have to cross 19 with
So I don't have
foot
to cross
traffic?
Limestone Creek.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
So if
well,
you see,
I-
if you see it in the picture here where
Yeah.
it comes down and you see another bridge right here.
Right,
So if we cross 19 and go this direction, we can eliminate all of this and through here.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm okay with that, but you're still putting the bridge where we just bought the property.
Yes,
Okay, so what bridge is David talking about right now?
The bridge to get to the
Limestone
bridge.
The bridge to get to the bridge.
the bridge to get to the bridge.
You know what
This to
Tony's ice
that,
cream- you know what
right?
Tony's ice cream is?
Yeah,
The way this is proposed, there would be a bridge going kind of across Limestone Creek by Tony's Ice Cream, which you would then travel down to get to the bridge to cross the West Fork, right, Chad?
Yes, you can see it right here. It says
You're going across the pedestrian bridge to get to this little red one down here.
okay.
pedestrian bridge crossing Limestone Run.
Thank you. I needed Tony's ice cream in my head. Okay, so then, and then the third bridge then would be to cross Simpson at Meadowbrook.
Yes,
We're trying to cut out the Tony's Ice Cream Bridge.
we're thinking about it. It's an option. We're gonna go look at it after this meeting and we're gonna
Jeff,
discuss
you
it.
whack out a bridge, whack it.
Well, it kind of makes sense to us, but we want to look at it before we say that's what we're gonna do.
Because the most important thing is to get to Meadowbrook. And I call it Susan's Bridge, because she lives on top of it. Done, you know what I'm saying? And then, and when I tell everybody where that bridge is, at Linwood Hills.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, we are scheduled to be, we think we can have this designed and out the bid this year.
Clifford Hill?
Start in the spring. And then finish the construction and,
when we have the design of the Meadowbrook then,
but it's gonna be right on the heels of this one.
great,
Meadowbrook's a lot less complicated.
good.
We purchased or started the purchase of the property at Meadowbrook.
We have not, I'm focused on wrapping up the Chris Lane parcel,
Okay.
and that should be done. Hopefully within 10 days.
But we don't have to buy any property for the bridge at Meadowbrook.
Yes.
I don't think so, looking at the tax maps, but
Yeah.
we need to make sure of that.
Yeah,
We need
David,
to
I don't
check
think
all
so. I
that.
think we own both sides.
Yeah.
Or not us, the state,
Yeah, I feel confident on West Fork because we spent the most time on
because it's
that.
actually following the path of the rail trail.
Yes.
So it's, we're tacking the bridge to rail trail.
We
yes.
don't own the rail trail through Spelter.
It doesn't matter. We would just up here to the state. We don't have to buy anything. We just have to have approval.
We need to look hard at that and make sure that, we don't need any more properties on that side.
We know we own the side closest to Shinston. Where the flower shop is.
That would be the opposite side. That wouldn't be closest to Shinston.
Well, if the other side's going towards Lawrenceburg,
Yeah,
You,
Yeah,
you
when
do
you-
not, you do not own the one side of Meadowbrook or their Simpson Creek. That is owned by Andrew Cook
okay.
of 63rd Street in Spelter. So you have no access to the river.
We gotta we have to start working with Mr. Cook.
I want to look at that because I don't 100% agree with that.
Okay.
As I think the documents that I have show that you own it.
Well, I like you thinking about the glass half full.
So there's a lot of work to do there before we come and say that
Okay.
we have to acquire that.
Well, take your time because they're paying taxes on $100,000.
And that's part of it. And that's what we'll be working with Trey to make sure that we're all in agreement. You own it or you don't.
Find out, please. Let us
I'm
know.
concentrating on the West Fork Bridge right now. And then I'll switch off and we get that started.
As they said, users don't get caught watching the paint dry. Let's find out if we own this property or.
So this bridge will be out of Core 10,
It's weathering steel.
Core 10. Getting that from great, okay. So, and you think for the span distance, this is the cheapest design.
Yes,
We're not
so-
going for, we're not going for looks, we're going for,
Yeah, I mean, if you
No
wanted to go,
money.
if you wanted to go for looks, you do a cable stay and you.
well, I mean, I'd love to have that.
You
but
can do all
that's-
kinds of expensive things, but we think this is
I'd
most
even settle
economical.
for an arch so that we could hang stuff from it, but
Commissioner, the maximum span we're looking at, middle, between 160 and 200 feet. Getting figured out Westport, so we don't have to creep. And there'll be approach spans that come in. And that's what we can use the fiber ring for plastics.
now, if you're going that far, even this is. That's a big span.
But they're pre-designed.
Yeah.
In the cost of this, gentlemen, and they're my friends. I don't want my redneck friends taking their side by side. Forward or across this, so if it does be, have when we get a tractor so we can do maintenance. It's gotta be able to be secured so that later. Oh, somebody could get a stroller through it if they have twins, but not a side by side. Track four-wheeler, 145 miles an hour. And my friends will do that.
Yeah,
Well, but you
So-
have the issue of horses,
yeah, and so you're not talking tractors. I mean, we're talking 10,000 pounds. We're not talking tractors. with heavy
Lawnmower.
mowers. We're talking lawnmowers.
but you potentially could have
utility
2 or 3
vehicle.
horses cross over. So there's,
Yeah.
well,
And there will have to be bollards on the ends because people
Yeah.
will ride their four-wheelers across.
Yeah.
it.
Has to be.
and we do have buggies that use it, but
Well, the good thing about it is you can go over to Northview pretty easily.
Yeah.
And still access the other side. So, it's not like you have to access the rail trail from this bridge. You can access it from other roadways.
so will you be able to come back in 2 weeks and update us on what you find out as far as whether we have to have 3 bridges and closer to
Sure.
design?
Anytime you would like an update, I'd be more than happy to come and give you one. If you, in 2 weeks, if you want another one, I'd be happy
Please.
to.
Chad, we want to vote through these for Christmas, buddy. I want a nice Christmas present. I want these out to bid so bad.
I know I'm not fast enough.
No, you're not.
I'm slow,
I'm humble.
but we gotta make sure it's right. And we gotta make sure it's done correctly. And it takes time.
I don't have the patience of Joe.
I mean,
So basically, we just need to let you know if this.
Am I in the right direction? Are we going the right
And
way?
I'm fine with this.
Yeah, you're on the right direction.
David, you okay with this, Mike?
Yeah, there's not a lot of choices from what we just discussed in distance. The only thing that would change that would be just one big heck of an archer. At over 100 feet, that'd be a tall arch. So this is either you're going to buy some really big beams or some really huge stressed concrete side. I don't see any other option for the distance that you're going. So I'm all right with it.
Hey, Chad, if you could get this by Christmas, I'll buy you those ice creams. And it is the best soft serve ice cream in the world.
A raspberry vanilla swirl, you can't beat that.
Done. Done.
You don't go down to Grafton and get that?
I think Tony's is better than.
Do you?
I do.
Then down there at the Dairy King?
It's right now, Monongah's fabulous, isn't it? Monongah has great ice cream. All right, guys,
Let's make a motion.
make a motion to proceed.
Thank you.
Continue on. General.
With the typical finished structure.
Yeah.
Is that what this is called?
Yeah.
Did you want to say something, Laura?
No, I was just going to say we need a motion just
Oh,
to clarify that Chad is on the right track and we agree with this to move forward to see a finalized design.
Make a motion before December 25th, Chad comes to us. In our last meeting, so we can put these out the bid.
okay. Your motion is,
To put the bid, get it done. before
Well.
you go forward. Yes. Chad.
right now.
I won't
that's
do
not
that
on
to
the
you,
agenda.
Chad.
This is on the agenda.
Good.
Okay, I think we have a motion, do we not?
Yes.
That this is fine, this design is fine. Okay, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion carried. Thank you very much, Chad.
Thanks, Chad. working so hard on this. Thank you.
We're almost done. Okay. Number 15, review, discuss, consider travel request for 911 to go to RETI. Whatever that is, not, I guess it's in Sutton on September 12th, 2024 for cyber threat. There we are, cyber threat awareness workshop. We have 4 dispatchers.
That is correct.
Motion approved.
Motion to approve 15A through D, is that correct? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? None, motion carried. You're here for the proclamation, correct?
Yeah, yes. So I apologize for being late. I don't know what happened. I had it in my calendar that we were at 11 today. So my apologies for that. So I'm Becky Conrad. I'm the Foundation's Relations Officer with the Mountaineer Food Bank. Give you a little bit about the Mountaineer Food Bank. We are the largest emergency food provider in the state of West Virginia. We serve 48 of West Virginia's 55 counties. And in serving those counties, we provide emergency food assistance to your local food pantries and your soup kitchens and your just different programs that provide food within your communities, as well as we bring in our mobile pantry programs. And here in Harrison County, we have a pretty prominent veterans table feeding program that we do down out at the Veterans Park. Just do lots of good things. And so we just wanted to come out and share that with you, but also ask you guys to do a proclamation because September is Hunger Action Month. It's designated through Feeding America. It's a national designation. And this year, our development team got together and we wanted to discuss how we could be more impactful during that month. And one of the ideas we had is instead of just keeping it at the state level and having a proclamation done, let's go visit our counties. And so we started with a select 12 to 15 counties, and Harrison County is one of them because we do have a plethora of different programming. In addition to our agencies that we serve here, like I said, we do our mobile pantry, we do Veterans Table, we do child hunger, we do senior feeding here. So the food bank is also very much in this community a lot. Our trucks, you see them up and down the highways. Just to give a little snippet of what we did in 2023 here in Harrison County. So we distributed about 1.3 million pounds of food last year to over 2,775 households here in your community. So we just wanted to get the commission on board and have the county celebrate Hunger Action Month with us. And that's all through the month. I have folders here. If you don't mind, I present these up to you. The folders just have some information. It has our impact report, some information about the food bank, as well as a copy of the proclamation and our Hunger Action Month action calendar. For the rest of the month, every day of the month, we have an action that we're asking our neighbors and our community members just to join along and support with us. Pretty simple stuff. Usually it's just take a picture and post it on social media and share it with the food bank. We just really want to engage our state in the fight to end hunger. That's just what I'm here for. So that's all I have for you. I have some goodies. There's some swag coming out your food bank. We want to proudly shine everywhere we go, and the more people that has it, the more we can do that. So if you don't mind, can I convince somebody to take this picture for me? So I have it for my social media. Thank you so much.
Whereas hunger and poverty are issues of vital concern in West Virginia, where 266,370 people face hunger and 1 in every 5 children do not know where their next meal will come. And whereas everyone needs nutritious food to thrive, and in every community in America, people are working hard to provide themselves and their families, yet in 2023, 44 million people, 1 in 7, including more than 13 million children, 1 in 5, face food insecurity in the U.S. That includes more than 8,460 people in Harrison County. With 16.3% of children that call Harrison County home food insecure. And whereas Harrison County is committed to taking steps to combat hunger in every part of our community and to provide additional resources that those in Harrison County need. And whereas Harrison County is committed to working with Mountaineer Food Bank, a member of the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks, in educating people about the role and importance of food banks in addressing hunger and raising awareness to the need to devote more resources and attention to hunger issues. And whereas many individuals in Harrison County rely on the food provided by the members of Mountaineer Food Bank and its community partners annually. Whereas in 2023, members of the Mountaineer Food Bank distributed 1,325,612 pounds of food in 2,775 households in Harrison County throughout its network of food pantries, soup kitchens, shelters, and other community organizations. And whereas the month of September has been designated Hunger Action in order to bring attention to food insecurity in our communities and to enlist the public in the movement to end hunger by taking action, including volunteer shifts, social media shares, and donations to ensure every community and everybody in it has the food they need to thrive. Whereas food banks across the country, including Mountaineer Food Bank, will host numerous events throughout the month of September to bring awareness and help end hunger in their local community. Now therefore be it resolved, the Harrison County Commission does hereby proclaim September 2024 as Hunger Action throughout Harrison County, and encourage all who read these words to share this proclamation so that Hunger Action Month can be observed by all of those within the community. Passed by the Harrison County Commission on September 11, 2024, and signed by all three.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
Always. Tell me something I don't. Okay, number 16, Administrators Report.
I don't have anything for today, Madam President.
Okay. Commissioner Hinkle?
I think the honor flights this weekend, if anybody. Then they come back in, and know it's a little tough with big game. This way, but anybody can tend to take it really appreciate.
It's something to see, too. It really is. Mr. Treehouse?
Only to add on what Mr. People said, we also have our Johnson County Fair this weekend.
Okay, I have nothing. Motion to adjourn. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?